Hey everybody, welcome back to this Let's Play of Final Fantasy II. I am Drak. Let's get to it, shall we? Alright, last time, so we began our quest to find Mithril. We went to the town of Salamand and found out that Joseph's citizens had been captured to work in the mines at Semmit Falls. So that's where we are. And I believe we've already freed them, so now we're going to go and take care of the person who actually imprisoned them. You know, the horrible person that is from the Empire. I forgot, this was Final Fantasy Star Wars Edition. People think I'm kidding. There's actually a lot of references to Star Wars in this particular game. I don't know if that's because the developers over at Squaresoft just took that as inspiration, or they just so happened to come up with the same story around the same time. But keep in mind, this was not, like, copyright or anything, because this game had not even come to this country until, wow, 2006 maybe? Like one of the last PlayStation games that came out. Right now we're just figuring out our little leveling hacks, and then we're gonna start killing monsters. Again, that's the beef I have with this game, is the leveling system. It's so tedious. But thankfully, we won't be very much longer into Semmit Falls. I did get the warp scroll because, oh, that's so helpful. It means we don't have to trek through horrible dungeons over and over and over again. We can just warp out. The only weird thing about warp in this game is it for some reason drains your health, or the health of the user. I don't know why they decided to do that, because it doesn't do it again. Oh, and look, the Guardian of the Warp Scroll, he put up, well, not even a good fight. I'm not going to say he put up a good fight. Not really. And apparently we're in that phase where I get nothing but encounters every step I take. What you gonna do? And by the way, just to give people a frame of reference, when I'm recording this, it's actually Christmas Eve today. Merry Christmas to all, or Happy Holidays to those who don't celebrate, but I celebrate Christmas, so there you go. And yes, the rumors are true. Somebody's always working on Christmas. I'd like to think this is more than work, but, you know, that's what it is. And I don't mind. It's not like I don't have anything going on until much later. To which, hopefully, you all are having a wonderful holiday season, and you're able to get your you're able to get your shopping done, and you're able to finally relax for the next few days until the new year, and then we're back to work again. Or in some cases, like if you work retail, then you're back to work after Christmas. I gotta say, I have never worked retail on December 26th, but I feel bad for anybody who has. It's gotta be like the worst day ever. The reason I say that is simply because Black Friday has gotta be bad too, but December 26th and 27th are like kind of the epic days of returns. And so, at that point, you're kind of the jerk responsible for their family's mistake. And I gotta think that's probably one of the worst days, because you're just nothing but yelled at the entire day. So if you are, I'm sorry. I've had those days too. Not on December 26th, but, you know, they still happen on other days. And a lot of encounters. I don't know how I got so unlucky, but apparently I did. I can figure that one out. I at least have a competent party that can take care of most of it. And yay, the goblin's dead, so now let's see if we can get down to the next floor. Now, I have heard a lot of complaints about Final Fantasy II being that the dungeons were too long. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. There are some that are a little bit longer than they need to be, but the rest seem kind of on par with the series progressing. The part that kind of shocks me is that the third game didn't really carry it. Oh. You will not leave here alive with the Mithril! Ha-ha! This is the guy responsible for the Salamand people being stolen away, so let's go ahead and take care of them. In the only way we know how. But we're still gonna take precautions because I don't want to die. You know, we did get killed that first fight, so we might as well just be safe. And I'm kind of glad I did that, because that could have been like 100. And down goes the sergeant. Magic. Okay, so that pretty much finishes things up here, except for an encounter. My mistake. I forgot it's my luck during recording a Let's Play. And I apologize if I'm a little sniffly, guys. It's flu season. It's, you know, insert head cold here. Number whatever. You lose track after a while. Alright, and in this chest is the Mithril. So now we have completed our quest. Now we have proven our worth to the Rebellion. And now we're out of here. And thankfully with the warp spell that we just got. So this will warp us out of Semmit Falls, put us back on the world map. And unfortunately, I had to learn the hard way the side effects of warp. Because, you know, it's been a while since I played this game, and I forgot. And so now we're going to go into this fight, and... Holy crap! Therian's like down to 16 HP! How'd that happen? He didn't get hit! I'll tell you how that happened. This game's a dork, and made it happen. But that's okay, because we have a level 7 cure because of Mindu. I think that's the sole reason Mindu was put in your party as the first member, is because he could kind of shepherd you along while you were learning the way to do things yourself. Because he doesn't really require a whole lot of maintenance. He's got some pretty good armor. You might want to upgrade his staff, maybe. But the other added advantage is he's got a bunch of magic, and most of it's pretty high level. So, Cure 7, and I think he's got a couple of other level 3 white magic spells, just to keep you alive. He kind of becomes your obligatory healer until Therian can, or in my case, Therian can step in. You can make them whatever you want. I mean, you could make Gus the healer if you wanted to. I just prefer to do it this way. Just given their stats already, where Therian kind of has a high spirit anyway, and Maria has a high intelligence, that tells me, okay, good healer, good magic user, and Gus has, if you cannot tell from his sprite, he's pretty buff. So obviously he has a good strength. So you just let him dual wield axes and he goes nuts. That's kind of one of the little perks of early Final Fantasy games, is customization. They really did let you kind of shape your journey. So in Final Fantasy 1, you could have a journey that was all 4 warriors, or you could have a journey that was all white mages, if you wanted to. If you wanted to put yourself through that punishment. And then 2 did the same thing, where you could shape the stats however you wanted. Just because Therian has a high spirit doesn't mean that he can't be your warrior. All you have to do is just work up the strength. Alright, and back to Salamand we are. So we've freed the villagers. Will Joseph finally speak with us? Same bad time, same bad channel? No, we're gonna hit the end first before we talk to Joseph. And unfortunately, we haven't hit that part of the game where we're getting a lot of money, so I'd never have to worry about Gil ever. That happens a little bit later when we start running into enemies that will drop spell scrolls, which are worth a lot of money. I love Joseph, but I'm afraid I will only... I don't know. My obsession with the X button. Oh, yeah, that's right. Thank you for saving me. Yes, so she was also in... If you remember, she was also in Semmit Falls. That's his daughter, Molly. Thank you so much for saving my daughter. Borgin threatened me into lying, so I just couldn't tell you the truth. Okay. If there's anything I can do to help you, let me know. Alright. We're gonna keep that in mind. The cavern behind Semmit Falls is an old mine. Mithril ore is still found there today. They don't really hint at whether or not that's where the Empire was getting their mithril, but it's one of the locations. So we have now taken that mithril mine, because the people of Salamand will work with the Rebellion now, because we're good guys. Come on, it's Star Wars. We're the Rebellion. We're the good guys. We're fighting against the Stormtroopers. I mean, you guys get it, right? Good. Alright. And while we're traveling our way back to Altair, to give the good news to Princess Hilda, just to give a quick game update for people. I'm not sure if I gave this update or not when I played last, but I'm just going to go over it again really quick. So, I finally beat Assassin's Creed Revelations fully. I didn't do the segments myself, but I went and saw the Desmond segments that you could unlock. And I gotta say, I know that a lot of people, like, Brotherhood gets heralded as this really good game because it pioneered the multiplayer, and then Revelation just kind of gets shoved in the corner as one of the worst games, and I don't get that now. Because Revelations is actually better, in my opinion, than Brotherhood. I know that's going to be causing a lot of frustration for people and rage, but look, it's not that I hated Brotherhood, but the main problem that I had with Brotherhood was it felt like they had worked all that time on the multiplayer. Kind of felt like Call of Duty games do to me, where they worked so hard on the multiplayer, then they realized, oh wait, there are going to be people who want to play that want a single-player campaign. Oh, well, we'll just slap that on. And that's the way Brotherhood felt, in a sense, to me as well. Is they didn't really think about the single-player campaign, they mainly thought about the multiplayer and how that was going to work. And that, for me, that doesn't work. I know for a lot of people out there, it does. Not for me. Revelations was a breath of fresh air, because not only did I get closure on Ezio's story, and I thought that was great how that ended. I also got closure on Altair's story. And I got a little bit more background into Desmond. And Desmond was kind of the one character in the Assassin's Creed franchise you didn't really care much about, because no time is virtually spent on it. You got maybe a little bit in Assassin's Creed 2, and a little bit more in Brotherhood, but you didn't really get anything else in the first game. And they didn't, and even though they gave you some story snippets here and there, they didn't really give you a whole lot of reason to care about Desmond. It's really that he's the one that has access to all the leaders of the assassins, supposedly. For all we know, Altair and Ezio are the only leaders in his bloodline, and then he stopped. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good game overall, and I recommend it wholeheartedly. I don't recommend Brotherhood to anybody, but I'll wholeheartedly recommend Revelations. I thought it was a good game. But I think I'm going to hold off on 3 for now. I'm going to let Revelations sink in and then see where I feel about it by the time 3 comes along. So in the meantime, I've actually picked up Mirror's Edge, because somebody recommended it to me a long while ago. They know that I like unique first-person perspective games, and I'm trying to remember when Mirror's Edge got recommended to me, but it was a while ago, and it was like a first-person... The reason they wanted me to play it was a first-person platformer. And I can kind of see that. I like the game of what I've seen thus far, but the story's kind of bland. I gotta say, I don't think DICE really put too much thought into the story and just kind of cobbled it together. So that's my only beef with it. I think the gameplay is okay. It definitely needs to be refined a little bit. Maybe they'll do that in the upcoming Mirror's Edge 2, but I don't have major complaints with the gameplay aside from it's kind of hard to see where you're going. There are a few things here and there that bother me in Mirror's Edge, and I'm not going to go into a whole wall of text about it. But I also decided to pick up after being just beaten over the head with a stick, saying, you need to play these games. I also decided to pick up the Batman Rocksteady games. So I'm playing Arkham Asylum, and yeah, that's a good game. I'm kind of sorry I didn't play that earlier, considering it's probably one of the best superhero games that has come out. Now, keep in mind, I haven't gotten that far into it, so what I've seen is good, but that could change. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll get motivated to go play Arkham City and see if that was good at all, but we'll find out. I'm liking it so far. Okay, so we are back in Altair to report back to Princess Hilda about the Mithril, and also prove our worth to the Rebellion. We kind of technically did that already because we found Scott, or Prince Scott, but yeah, this is our first mission, so you don't want to screw it up. And of course, we're going to rest in the inn before we report to Princess Hilda because, well, that's how I roll. And for good reason. Sometimes you get into the plot and you forget that you didn't rest or save. Alright, back at headquarters. And I forgot again where Princess Hilda's throne room is. Okay. The Empire suffered considerable losses in the last great battle in Fynn. To make up for them, the Imperials are now building the Dreadnought in Bafsk. Alright, new term to remember. So let's ask about this Dreadnought. Oh yeah, that's the kind of the downside. You don't get closure on the Mithril within the storylines. The Dreadnought is a massive, heavily armed airship. The Empire has enslaved the people of Bafsk to construct it. Alright, memorize airship? Ask that. A man named Sid once led Finn's Order of the White Knights. He built an airship and eventually grew obsessed with it. He left Fynn and settled in Poft, where he now ferries travelers for a fee. I hear every gil he earns goes straight back into the airship to improve its performance. Alright, so, for people who have played Final Fantasy games before, this is the first time this trope was put in. In every Final Fantasy game after the first, there's always a character named Sid. This is the first time that happened. And so now we have this pilot, Sid, that we probably need to go talk to about airships, because he might be able to tell us how to fix the problem with... Well, hold on. I'm only a worthless old geezer. Well, you're worthless now, but we're gonna give you Mithril. Is that Mithril in your hands? Good job, Letty. Now I can forge swords, knives, spears, and shields. All better than ever. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Since Sid is kind of the master of airships, maybe he can help us figure out how to destroy the Dreadnought. Buy my weapons and armor at the shops? Oh, this is exciting. Now, people might notice there's now a new person in the shop. That person is kind of the specialist in Mithril armor and Mithril weapons in either shop. Not every town gets them, but you could at least get these and different weapons in different towns. But as you can tell, they're expensive as all heck. So that's kind of frustrating. But in the meantime, before we go grind to get Mithril weaponry and armor, we're gonna go see if we can go talk to Sid. And yes, I'm lying a little bit. I did grind off camera just to get some of the armor and weapons done. Woohoo! Battle right before town. That's so awesome. Not really. And you guys can kind of tell, because I went up an additional 300 HP. That's the other interesting part here, is that in order to grind up your HP properly, you kind of have to hit yourself. And occasionally you can kill yourself. You have to be careful. Alright, let's go ahead and pay our little pirate fee. He's gonna sail us over to Poft, so we can go talk to Sid. Yee! Ship music! Not really. There really isn't much ship music. Okay, actually, yes. I did talk to Sid, I think, on the way back. He'll just ferry you to places for a fee, so it's like 100 for one town, it's 200 for another. It just depends on the distance. But unfortunately, we have no idea how to beat this dreadnought, so we have to go look into it. Our next mission is basically to gather information in Bafsk about the airship, or about the dreadnought, and see, you know, is it completely invincible, or can we take it out? Gee, are we starting to have a Star Wars comparison here? Almost like a space station of some kind? Kind of what it is, or another good explanation would be the Super Star Destroyer. You know, Darth Vader's Star Destroyer. A really big one. I'm not the only Star Wars nerd here, right? Okay. And of course, now, since we're getting closer to Bafsk, we're gonna actually start encountering Imperial enemies. Just sergeants, soldiers. And there is the town of Bafsk. So let's see. Oh, and if you can see up in the top of the screen, that was the dreadnought being built. My, that's a big airship. It's too bad we won't gain control of it. No, I'm not spoiling anything. The dreadnought, we won't control it. Maybe in a later game. Actually, I don't think it ever happened. And right now we're getting pummeled by Sasquatches. Oh, never mind. Sorry. We're doing the pummeling. My bad. We're decked out in mithril weaponry and armor, and nothing can really hurt us. But we can hurt it. Woohoo! Yay! And into Bafsk, I can't say it properly. Bafsk we go. Okay, quick hit the inn, and hopefully we don't get ambushed by Imperials. Oh, sorry, later game, my bad. Okay, so now we need to go see what we can do here. Let's go talk to the soldier out in the middle of nowhere. Ever since General Borgen came as the Dark Knight's replacement, it's been easy for us here. Batman's here? But he sure seems like an idiot. Oops, you never heard that. Okay. Let's just try this. Ah, comrades, I wasn't able to move around when the Dark Knight was commanding this operation. Again, Batman's here? Borgen is only a pig-headed fool. He doesn't care about anything but himself. Okay. Well, let's try and ask him about the Dreadnought. You must be here to destroy the Dreadnought. I'm a spy for the Rebel forces, an ally of yours. Yeah, we kind of figured that out, dude. You'll find an entrance to the sewers ahead. It should lead you to the Dreadnought. Okay. Cool. He secured us entrance. Well, enough talk. Don't want to rouse suspicion. Good luck. Okay. Bye-bye. Okay, so this guy's opened up the way for us to go into the sewers to take care of the Dreadnought, but we're going to have to wait till the next part to take care of that. Thank you once again for stopping by, and next time we take on the sewers to look into the Dreadnought. I am Drak.